Hello everyone, this is FilibusterFox and I am bringing you some Minecraft. Yes, that's right, the Tekkit mod in Minecraft. Just gonna fly over giving a pre-hint what I'm going to talk about this session. But I've decided I'm going to do a little bit of a series where I build an industrial city using Tekkit. I'm going to do this in creative mode and make it a very well-designed, very decorative city, which still has all the functionalities that you'll need from Tekkit. It'll have different structures like a power plant. It'll have, City Hall. It'll have maybe a mage tower in there. Might make it a little steampunky. We'll see how it goes when we start building it. But it's going to be in this big plains here with the slightly rolling hills and a little bit of a forest in the middle. There's some forest off to the north in the snow, in the south. And off to the north, there's a different biome. Here I found a desert biome, and I decided this is where I was going to lay the foundations for my nuclear power plant. Now, I'm not planning to go to nuclear power immediately, but I'm determined to make it look like a nuclear power plant for a power plant use. I probably will end up going nuclear. But I've laid out these two very large circles here. They are 25 that way, 25 that way, and 4 in the middle. So it's a 52 diameter circle, and it's going to be one of the two cooling towers. The same one over there, same thing, exact identical size circle, lined up nicely with dirt, with 50 spaces between them. Over here, I've created a little miniature idea of how I'm going to build the cooling towers. Now, obviously on the smaller scale, the gradual curve inward doesn't look nearly as good. Looks like you're just like cutting it open and it looks terrible. It's not going to look like that on the larger scale. It's going to be a much more gradual curve. But basically the nuclear power plant starts out wide. Missing a couple of blocks here. Anyways, it starts out wide, gradually curves inward toward the middle, and then expands outward, kind of like a thingamajig. I can't think of anything else that does that offhand. It's kind of like a ketchup bottle. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, but that's the basic shape. That will be just massive. We'll have the main power plant in between the cooling towers. Probably each cooling tower will have a nuclear reactor surrounded by water and such like that, just piped out. Now all the power is going to go to the city from this one power plant. There won't be power generators in the city other than maybe little generators and such like that. It's all going to connect through telephone poles with power lines on them. So I'll probably refine the design a bit here and decorate it, of course, a bit more. Maybe put like a thing on the side of those. Probably not an entire plank block, but maybe like a post of some kind. But I'll figure that out. But anyways, I'll have an MFSU on one side and an MFE on the other. Speaking of, I'm using the Stack Speedy texture pack, and everything's totally different since I updated. So I'm going to need to update my textures and see if I can get the ultimate effect, because marble looks kind of funky instead of that white block that it used to be. Oh, the cow just walked into a cactus and died. And the glass fiber cables look different, and the MFE MSSU looks totally different. Am I even using the texture pack? Is that the problem? Is that what's going on? I think that might be the problem. Let me see if I can fix that. Well, guys, I'm a genius. I figured it out. I didn't have my texture pack on. I'm such an idiot. I'm missing my blocks again. Anyways, I'll sort that out later. So yeah, so this will look a lot better with this form of marble, and the glass fiber cables and MFEs and MSSUs and what have you look a lot better. But anyways, I'm doing this setup because over time, glass fiber cables still do have power decay over large distances. So I figure every 30 blocks or so I'll have one of these, however long it takes them to decay. And I'll be running a high voltage and a medium voltage with the MFSU and the MFE, one on each side. That way I can just pull from the MFE line for low voltage use and send the MFSUs right to what needs the big power. I'll probably have lots of power issues when I'm sorting these out, but 2 nuclear generators and probably some conventional solar panel or something to back it up should fill those up pretty nicely. Now that is going to be a lot of MFSUs hanging out, but whatever, I'm not paying for them. Do a creative mode. Yes, so this looks a lot better with the right texture pack on. This is FaxBD Craft. With the mod for Tekkit available in there. Looks fantastic. I love this mod. And hello cows. Let's just go ahead and turn this back to day. Alright, so what to expect from this series? Well, first, of course, I'm going to build the city that I've been talking about, and it's going to hopefully look fantastic. I'm going to kind of document my progress as I go and get some response from you, the viewer, as to what I need to build, if I'm forgetting anything, if I should make adjustments to certain structures, that sort of thing. I'll listen to your feedback. I won't necessarily use your feedback, so don't think you're going to get exactly what you're saying you want. But I will listen to it, and I read every comment on my channel, so bear that in mind. I just usually don't respond because, well, I'm just quiet, shy. You couldn't tell by my videos because I'm just talking to myself. I'm quite eager to talk to myself. I'm a great conversationalist when I'm talking to myself. Anyways, so rambling, meandering aside, there we go. Looks better. Anyways, that's fixed up, mostly. Bugger, this thing's just all sorts of... Didn't want to keep my blocks. Anyways, so I'll be building the city over time, and I will either do some like time-lapse video and just talk over it when I'm building, or I'll kind of take progress reports, like I might build 5 layers on this and then take some video of that, and then so on and so forth. I'm not really sure how I want to do that yet. I wish I could just set up a camera, like over here, and watch me build, and just time-lapse that, but I don't really have that capability. Alright, so feel free to post comments, like, dislike, whatever you want to do, whatever you think about the videos. If you want to see more, let me know. I was planning to build a city anyways. I figured, hey, you know what? People might want to see me and how I build. Oh my goodness, did I screw this up? This isn't right. Oh wait, no, that's right, okay. Oh, scared myself there. Right, so this has been FilibusterFox playing a little Tekkit. I'm probably going to put a few layers so you can see the base of the cooling tower start to take shape. And I'll just level this out here. And I'll rejoin you once I get through a bit of this. Alright, I've added a few layers to this. It takes quite a while to do that, actually. And you're starting to see it take form as that cylindrical cooling... Oh, there's a hole there. The cylindrical cooling tower. Let's just patch that up. There we go. And it may hopefully give you a better idea of the scale of these towers. A little easier than just looking at the circle on the ground. And it's going to be going up quite a while before I start gradually moving it inwards. I'll probably make it maybe yay high. We'll see how it goes. I'll go till I feel like it looks good. And we'll go from there. So that's an example of how I might do it if I just cut out bits of me building and give you updates. I'm going to try out doing a bit of time-lapse here next, and building the next few layers, see what you guys think about that, see what's more interesting to watch if you just want me to skip through, or if you would like me to time-lapse some things like this. I make frequent mistakes that I go through, so we'll see. So give me some feedback in the comments. Let me know what you like watching more, if you want me to skip through the building, or if you want me to time-lapse. The following will be an example of time-lapse, as I said. So we've begun the time-lapse here, and I'm just recording over this in post-production, and there's actually going to be very little for me to say during this process. We're going about 4 times faster than what I normally did. Shaved quite a lot of time off the video when I did this. Now we're seeing what I'm doing here is I'm just extending up the walls to get to the point where I actually want to start curving it inward, like the little display model I had off to the side. And it's a bit of a lengthy process to do all this. I experimented right there with trying to go in at that point, but it was just too low still for me. So I wanted to go a few higher before I started to curve it inwards gradually and get the right kind of height that I'm looking for. I discover a bit later that it's easier said than done to do a gradual curve on a circular structure in Minecraft. It gets a little complex in your head, and you have to work out the pattern quite significantly. So here we see I'm just continuing onwards, going around and around and around in dizzying circles. about a little higher than the power line now. I wanted to go a bit higher before I started doing this, so I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to figure out how high I want to go. I'm just going to build up that high. So I went up a few more. I started going inwards by laying out one block and then going up 3 and then over 1 and then up 3 and so on and so forth until I got the shape I was looking for. Make a little adjustment here and there as I go through, as I rethink it in my head, because I'm just shooting this from the hip. Don't actually have a written down plan or anything like that aside from the shape of the original circle. I didn't really care for what I saw about here, I believe. I was going in too gradually. I decided I wanted to go in just a bit further here before doing that. I honestly, that there was a moment here that I redid it. There we go. And I started to go outward here after doing a large, very smooth section with a 4-up. I experimented with adding in 4-up above that and then going 3 and doing the reverse of the pattern below. Exactly, so it would be very, very symmetrical if you cut it in half at the center of that inward section. It would match up. And then I realized, you know what, I don't actually like that. So I went back and I deleted it, and I started making it more gradual, and I wasn't going to go out as far as the base, obviously, because I needed it to be less jutting. So there you go, backing out and undoing what I did once again, getting it a little higher there. And I feel like that was a good location for it. So I start building up around the sides to see how it look along with the curve, and trying to figure out in my head how it's all going to work while I'm throwing down these blocks, because curves are really confusing in Minecraft where everything's made of squares. As may be obvious, it's a little difficult to work with. So, just lining everything up, getting it all moved up, just trying to build out this other side so I can see the whole thing in progress. And it was confusing as anything. Trying to keep it daylight so there was a good view. Didn't want to get in too dark. Now, I'm noticing in the post-production here that there's some video quality issues in the full screen. It's because I was running at a very low resolution of the browser. I had it open in that tiny window it defaults to. So before posting up the next one, I'm going to make some adjustments to the video settings. And hopefully I'll get a better recording quality for future videos in Minecraft. But we'll see that as it comes. Now, still moving up. I'm just basically every time I go up a level, I'm going in one to match what I originally did on the side. And every time I've gone in one, I will put the block on the block that I went in one and not on the outer block, and it'll get that gradual curve that I was looking for. Motion's very jerky at 4 times speed when I'm just going around placing blocks. This would be much better if I had an external camera view. I may have to look at a way to set that up. But we've got a pretty good build going on here, I think. Very pleased with the progress I've made at this point. Worried that I was screwing up something terribly. I was going to have to undo it all and start all over again. But I was fortunate in that didn't really become an issue I had to worry about. So this is the first time I actually have done a time-lapse without, I did one in Doom, that series, and I did the Benny Hill theme over it. We were spending 10 minutes trying to get to a secret level. Trying the same thing over together, trying to jump in that little escape. So that's all the experience I've had with doing the time-lapse, and I've never done the narration over top of it. So this is as much an experiment for me as it is for you, the viewer. Of course, the primary concern of doing both methods is to hear back your feedback on all of them, so I will be able to select the correct method that you guys prefer. Also, I'll get a little experience in it and see how I like the recording process. In hindsight, I think I liked the time-lapse a bit more because it made me kind of commit to working since I was recording the whole time. I feel like it would have been too easy for me to quit early if I was doing the summaries. But yes, once again, looking forward to your comments. I'll recap this once again later in the video as I go back to real time at the end of this time-lapse build. Now, notice I'm not going all the way around because, well, for one, I didn't want to do the whole thing and then decide I want to do it differently. I wanted to just get like a piece of the pie, like about a quarter of the build completely done, and just see how I like it. One concern I had is I wanted to break up the structure because a whole lot of the same block in Minecraft looks really bad. I'm hoping that as I finish it up, it'll look fine because it's got the textural difference there. Or I guess texture is not the right word to use in a video game made with textures, but it's got the difference in depth along the side. All right, we're gonna cut off the thing here and return back to real time right about now. And there we have it. That is about a little over a quarter of one of the cooling towers. Let's get down and view it from land. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. What do you guys think? Does it look right? Look like a cooling tower from a nuclear plant for you? I don't think it's too big. I think it's about the right height. I like how I've done that. It is going to be a gigantic pain in the ass to make the rest of it and the other one. Oh my god, I wished I used MC Edit now and just copy and paste it over to the other spot. But no, I'm doing this the hard way. You know, granted the creative mode way. There's no mining all this gravel and then going up there with a flying ring, setting it all up. At least this helps some. Easier to knock it down when I make a mistake too. Oh, and giant home. From the inside, it's going to look a little more like this. I have yet to know exactly what I'll put inside the cooling tower. I might do some research on how nuclear power plants work in real life and maybe mimic that a little. But chances are I'm just going to put a big reactor. Maybe, I don't know, I could fit 4 reactors in each cooling tower. Now that would be some power now, wouldn't? And then they would all explode on me and I'd have to build it all again. I may do kind of a double-lined thing. I may put like a very resistant block like obsidian or maybe a blast-resistant material of some kind along the inside and then another layer of marble around that. And get it nice and blast protected so if something does go wrong inside the cooling tower, there's that extra layer of blast protection to prevent it from taking out the city with it. But we'll see. Still have the rest of this cooling tower to build and the entire other tower. Oh, my fingers already hurt from this. I'm going at this way too long. I actually have to get up in a few hours, so I'm going to call it here. So you've seen a little bit of the recap. You've seen a little bit of the time-lapse. Let me know what you prefer, what you think is good. If you don't want to watch this at all, let me know if I'm wasting my time recording it. Hello, Mr. Cow. Hello. Hi. You look very angry. You are very intimidating looking. I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. You can live. Oh, you want some too? You want some too? Go away. Go away. Yeah. Cows. Okay. Well, yeah. So that looks like a good scale. Let me know if you have any suggestions on improvements there. Bear in mind, this took forever and is actually fairly difficult to do. But it looks very symmetrical. It looks like I got it right. I'm not seeing any mistakes that I made. I've probably made some, by me. But it looks pretty good to me. I think I like it. I am pleased. Well, this has been FilibusterFox building some in Tekkit. If you want to see a regular survival Tekkit series, of course, let me know, and maybe I'll pull that. Not sure how much time I have to spare for it, but we'll see. I've just been enjoying a lot of Tekkit lately, so thought I'd make something cool. See you next time.